Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week we've got a roundup of highlights from the Northern Shooting Show. But first up, Andy Watkins is out making a mixed bag of wood pigeon, squirrel and rabbit with the scope cam.
Well, we've come down to one of my newer permissions now. It's a really nice day, sunshine, but it's forecast to rain a little bit, so I've put my waterproof on just in case. What we're going to be doing here today mainly is basically there's a lot of vermin. There's pigeons. Problem with the pigeons being here is they defecate a lot in the animal feed. So we've got cows behind me and young calves. Pigeon feces and things like that in their feed really isn't helpful. Same goes with magpies, jackdaws, if we come across any. There's also a lot of rabbits here. Again, they dig holes in paddocks such as the one behind me, and if livestock put their foot down there it can be fatal for them, and they may have to be put down. There's also a large squirrel population, especially now the weather's warming up. The squirrels should be starting to move. The problem they cause is stripping the bark of trees, and they damage a lot of the buildings around here and eat through the feeders as well for some of the more exotic animals here, such as the ostriches. So basically all of those pest species are on the menu today. Hopefully we'll be able to knock them down. The tool for that is the Cometa Orion. Obviously this is a bullpup. On top we've got a Hawk Air Max 4-12 by 40, and that's held on with sports match mounts. I've fitted some dovetail mounts on, and I've used the sports match adapters for the Picatinny rail, so I could take this scope off this gun and put it on any of my others, so nice and flexible. So hopefully we'll be able to put this to some good use today. There's a lot of birds flying around. I saw one as we were pulling into the drive, so we'll stalk into that and see if we can pop one in the bag. I can see directly down the drive now, and that pigeon's still there. I think this one's worth a stalk. It's quite a long way away, it's probably about 100 yards at the minute, but there's a lot of cover, so using the vegetation I think we'll be able to get in pretty close.
There are a lot of pests on this permission, and because it's a farm park they're not as wary as they might be in the open countryside. Andy moves in cautiously and manages to get himself comfortably within range for the shot.
Well, just had a really good pigeon there. It's about 25 yards. Took it with the Cometa, had it from a kneeling position, so nice and solid. By the way the bird reacted, I'm pretty sure it was a headshot, which is exactly what we're after.
Andy has to clamber around the fence to make the retrieve, but he eventually emerges with the first addition to the day's bag.
Nice pigeon there. Hopefully we'll have some more today. It's a bit funny weather, it's gone from really sunny to really grey clouds over there. Hopefully it should stay nice for a bit longer. Okay, so we've just shot that pigeon down on the drive. Now as I was walking back I spotted quite a close range woody. It's just in the llama enclosure and it's sat on a post.
Andy's shot placement isn't quite on the mark here, but at close range a heavy 2.2 pellet to the upper chest snuffs the pigeon out very cleanly.
Well, I took that pigeon with a standing shot and it dropped straight down. I'm pretty sure the pellet dropped a little bit lower than I anticipated, but again, the extra knockdown power of these pellets, it was just lights out.
And it's another strenuous retrieve for Andy. Definitely one for a younger shooter. Still, the llama looks impressed with his acrobatics.
So that was a really nice shot. It was a little bit low, as I thought it was. Just dropped and hit him in the neck. Again, a really clean instant kill. So it's fine really, but one to watch for next time. I'll learn from that shot.
And now the stalk takes Andy into the woods as he tries to get on terms with some of the resident grey squirrels. After a bit of a wait, Andy manages to get one in his crosshairs, and it's another very close shot.
He's dropped straight down, literally about 10 yards from where we were standing. So that plan worked out beautifully. We've been standing here about 10 minutes now and another squirrel's come in behind me. It's really tight up against a trunk of a tree and it thinks I can't see it.
This squirrel is partially obscured, but Andy manages to get a bead on its head. It dangles for a while as headshot squirrels so often do, but it's lights out for this tree rat.
Just had a peek through the corner and I was right, there is some pigeons there. I've lased them, they're 45 yards away.
This is a long shot, on the limit for an experienced airgun shooter. Andy's a crack shot, and he's got the support of the fence to keep his aim steady.
You can really see the energy as that pellet hit that pigeon. The white feathers just came off it and he just rolled to the deck. There he is then, stone dead on the floor. Yeah, hit him with a nice neck shot. That'll be another one in the pot. We're just walking, just retrieved that pigeon, and as we're walking back I spotted a rabbit just to the side of this this fence again. That is still our boundary, still our property, so we can shoot on there. I'm going to get as close as I can.
Gaps in fences and hedges create brilliant shooting windows to ambush quarry when you're stalking, and can yield some very close shots like this one.
Another nice shot there. Hit the rabbit straight in the back of the head. It was on my primary 0, so just aimed straight on really and rolled it over. Oh, we're just heading back to the car and I saw a squirrel running along this fence here. Now, although I was set up to pack up and go home, I'm not going to say no to another squirrel. So I'm just going to stalk down this fence, staying in the shade. I don't want to go in the sun in case like the glint of my phone or anything spooks it. And hopefully again get a nice clean shot off. He is stopped on the fence at the minute, so I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to get straight to it.
Andy gets his aim off right, and it's a solid smack to the head.
The squirrel was down on the tree, so it looked like I was aiming at his chest, but really I was intending the paddock to drop and hit him in the head. And that's exactly what happened. We've had such a great day today. We'll counter what we've had in a minute. First, let's go and get that squirrel. So yeah, it's been a fantastic evening. There's plenty of animals here for the birds of prey. The pigeons will be going in my freezer, the rabbits will be going to my next door neighbour's freezer, the squirrels will be going to the birds of prey, and so will the dove, I think. But yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. Thanks for watching.
Andy Watkins making a serious impression on his new permission there. And now it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. We're reporting from the Northern Shooting Show in Harrogate. In just its third year, this show is already a major fixture on the shooting calendar, especially for the airgun industry. We roamed the halls and the outside areas at the show to bring you the hottest product news. The show kicked off with the DNA Film Festival, probably the first ever hunting film fest to take place in the UK. With sponsorship from Sauer and Minox, the show also saw a £5,000 bursary awarded to Danish filmmaker Ulrik Orskov. We caught up with the organisers, Daryl and Byron Pace.
I think the feedback that I've been getting over the last 2 days has been great. You know, I think everybody had a good time. For us, what was important was the messaging of it. It was about showcasing what the future of hunting might look like and how we could do things better.
It's something to build on for next year, and the fact that it was so many people entered films, and it wasn't just from the UK, the spread was from all over the world, so it was absolutely brilliant to see.
And we had two categories. We had an amateur category and we had a professional category. So anybody who did any kind of film work and was paid for it on a professional capacity, that is where they sat. And then, you know, there's a huge amount of enthusiastic amateurs out there with very, very little equipment and very little money spent on equipment. And I think that was probably one of the things that impressed us most. Was
the fact you can produce a good film with, yeah, well, like Byron said, very little budget, very basic equipment. And I think what shines through is actually the story is more important.
Yeah, honest stories.
The honest story is more important than the actual filming of the thing, because then you get a great film from it.
Then it was off to the show itself, and we kicked things off with a look at Brocock's Commander PCP.
This is the latest Brocock Commander. We launched this at IWA in March, it was now. It went down tremendously well there, and it's gone down tremendously well here. It comes with the ballistic synthetic stock as standard. On here we have the bifold stock, but in the UK it'll be a fixed stock. Adjustable grip, interchangeable grip. Comes with Picatinny rails as standard. The tri-Picatinny rail you can see here, that's an optional extra. The 1-inch shroud is standard on the model. On here we have a Hugget, just because we like to put Hugget on things, but that's an optional extra as well. Starts from £999 with the steel bottle, comes in 177, 22 and 25.
Another popular PCP getting an upgrade is ViroEx HW 110.
The 110 now finally has been released in a tour cal. We've had a lot of interest about it ever since it first came out 2 years ago. So ViroEx have now finally met up with the demand, the worldwide demand I suppose you could say about it. So now get it in a tour cal. We've got limited numbers in stock right now, but it'll be a very, very popular choice. The 110 and the 100, because it's PCPs and because it's ViroEx, people always show a lot of interest in them, always ask a lot of interesting questions about it. So yeah, I mean, it's just, if anyone knows what ViroEx are like, they know what the 110 has to offer. It's lightweight, it's got a good shot count to it, it's the best of both worlds between 100 carbine and 100 full length.
British NV brand NiteSite launched the Dark Ops range earlier this year, and it's not finished innovating yet. They showed us a few more tweaks to the lineup.
So my exciting news from NiteSite is we will be releasing our NiteSite head units independently. 850 nanometers, you'll be able to buy the Viper, the Wolf or the Eagle. We'll also be bringing to market the most anticipated product, which is our RTAC camera as a single unit. So you'll be able to upgrade to the RTAC technology recording camera with one touch button record and speed focus. For more information, visit nitesite.com.
And from NV to thermal, There were some new thermal imaging binos on display from Pulsar.
We've got two models available, so that they're built around the same system as the popular Pulsar Helion thermal imagers. We've got an XQ38 and an XP50, so exactly the same sensor options as on the Helions. Our XQ38 is a 384-288 17 micron sensor with a 640-480 AMOLED display. XP50 is the 640-480 17 micron sensor with the same AMOLED display. Both models will offer a nice wide field of view. They're both fully waterproof. Both feature the new Pulsar B-Pack battery system, so the interchangeable battery on the side here. Both fully Wi-Fi, so compatible with the Stream Vision app for recording to the device, streaming to the mobile app, and obviously recording through that facility as well. Fully waterproof. Main benefit we see of these is obviously for prolonged observation. They'll be a lot more comfortable for the user.
At the Tesro stand, we saw the man with the golden gun, not a Bond villain, but Dave Mills.
Well, basically the Tesro brand now has been around for sort of 17 years. I'm a UK importer. We've spent the last 7 years now really building the brand and getting people to hear about the brand. A lot of people have come to the show this weekend really because they've heard of the Tesro brand now. They have colleagues at the clubs and stuff like that have tried them at various shows. And in fairness, the rifles and the pistols are starting to take the country by storm a little bit, purely because it is a hand-built rifle, very much made to order. What we've got really this year is we've got a lot of new anodising colours, blues, reds, greens, all sorts of variations. This particular one is a gentleman rang me. He saw a video that I'd done in Germany at Iowa when we launched the new anodising colours, and he wanted a gold rifle. So this has been built specially for him. 20 years I've been involved with the ATEO. 15 years now I've been training professional pest controllers and going into places like Dungeon SB Power Station and things like that for pigeon control and training people in there that have got to do that. Now really we've extended that really. BSA have been involved in the training programme for a couple of years now. We've now got to the stage really where that same level of training that we offer for the professional pest controller, there's a lot of people are now starting to ask me to get involved, look at FAC airgun training because of the issues around people not understanding ballistics and things like that. As soon as we go to an FAC airgun, then that raises its own set of questions and knowledge that people need.
And finally, a familiar face introduced us to the lineup of Optisan scopes coming to the UK.
Well, Optisan has been around for a while, actually 20 years, would you believe? But they have always, in the UK, been known through the MTC optics, through Gary and Sammy Cooper. About 3 years ago, Optisan had grown to an extent worldwide that it wanted to bring in a new range of scopes and go more its own way. This is one which has been around for the last 2 years, and it's the Optisan EVX scope. Comes in many guises, all the way up to this beautiful little scope, which is 6-24 by 50. The interesting one about this version is it's a first focal plane. So they come in both first focal plane and second focal plane scope. What's the difference? Well, the difference is on the first focal plane, the reticle grows and shrinks as you zoom in and out on the target, whereas on the second focal plane scope, the reticle stays the same size and the target shrinks and decreases beneath it. And Optisan offers both first and second focal plane versions of this scope. You can get a low profile version of this scope as well. That's pretty new and it's a beautifully made scope. Again, the build quality of Optisan scopes is second to none.
That's all from the Northern Shooting Show, and that was the Airgun Show news.
Look out for the new and improved Airgun Shooter magazine, packed full of technique, gear and insight from some of the best shooters in the industry. Brand new look and free video content. Pick up your copy today in stores or online.
That's all for this week, but we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits you could be taking advantage of with Airgun membership.